Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we are going to go through top offseason priorities for the NBA's 10 worst teams. So it's an article by Grant Hughes of Bleacher Report. So I'm going to give you guys my opinions on all the headers for all of these right here, man. And I want to know your guys' opinions in the comment section below, as always. Just to see what some of these bad teams can do to get themselves on the right track for the beginning of the 2019-2020 NBA offseason. So yeah, guys, link to the article in the description as always. Let's go ahead and get started on this. So the first one we have is the New York Knicks make that cap space count. So yes, the New York Knicks have kind of been like notorious for not really always making the greatest choices when it comes to the free agent market. Where they would often overpay for players like Joakim Noah. I mean, I know like Joakim Noah, he was nice on the Bulls and everything like that, but he came to the Knicks team and got a huge contract, and really from like a salary cap standpoint, really held that team back for quite a while. So as you see on the picture right there, I mean, you see guys like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. If they were able to land one of those guys or even both, then yes, it's a big time situation for the squad out there. But I will say that when they decided to trade away Kristaps Porzingis, I know Kristaps and management were not really meeting eye to eye. I did think that kind of like hurt the team out there because, of course, you know, Kristaps kind of talked a bit about like the ownership of the Knicks and kind of like how that's like how would anybody want to play for them and stuff like that, which is going to be, you know, considered by some of these free agents out there, man. Like people are going to look at them and be like, yo, why did Kristaps and that team not exactly work out? Dennis Smith is nice. I like him a lot. You know, they got some other decent pieces on that team right there. Not like super decent, but they're going to have, you know, some cap space to work with, and they're going to have a lottery pick, you know, top 5 pick in the draft. So, I mean, if they go out there and can sign one of these guys, and yes, that's great. But if they go off and sign some dude that's like middle of the road free agency as far as the pool goes, to some big huge contract and just waste it. And what they need to do, guys, they need to get win now players. They need to get guys that are just going to help them win basketball games, not guys that are just going to be okay for them for the next 3-4 seasons or the duration of their contracts. So yeah, they definitely got to make that cap space count. I mean, there's no more playing around. Like Knicks, you guys are set up to do it. You just got to execute. It's New York. It's a big market team. Like players you would think would want to go there, but at the same time, the management's just horrible. Guys, give me your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Next up, we have the Phoenix Suns stabilize. So yes, you look at this team and like the young core is there. It's kind of a similar situation, I would say, to the Minnesota Timberwolves, where it's like they have like a good young core and everything like that. It's just going to take a few seasons, and they might need a few veterans out there to kind of like help, you know, in the locker room and just bring like some stability, for lack of a better term, to the entire roster and the organization. So they're going to get a good draft pick. Now, I know people are saying, it says right through the Phoenix Suns would love to get Zion Williamson. I think they either need to go for Ja Morant or they need to, you know, sign some sort of veteran point guard. So I guess if you have that first pick, then yeah, I guess Zion is probably the obvious choice, you would think. Because then that does allow, you know, for some trade pieces out there between either like, you know, maybe like a TJ Warren or a Josh Jackson. The trade pieces are there where you could try to make some sort of package for a veteran point guard, some other veteran guys out there, and or even someone in free agency. I mean, I would love to see like a Kemba Walker come to this team. Just somebody like that to provide another spark. I really like DeAndre Ayton. Of course, you got Devin Booker, who probably should have been an all-star this season. So all the pieces are in place, and I know like right now people are saying like the Suns aren't very good, and they're clearly not, but this is still an important time for these guys, you know, to work on chemistry and just kind of get some more minutes under their belt. I mean, Devin Booker is good to go, but there's plenty of young guys on the team, man, that just this extra time, like I would hate to see the coach like shut players down and stuff like that. So yeah, just continue working on your game. Management needs to bring in the right guys, make sure they got the right coach out there, and I think this team is set up for success. And who knows, man, I mean, if all goes right, if they bring in the right players, could very well be like an 8 seed next season, or maybe the season after. Next, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers leverage those expiring deals. Yeah, man, so we do know that from a few seasons ago, the Cleveland Cavaliers tossed out quite a few contracts. I know like Tristan Thompson was one of them that got a pretty large size one. Kevin Love actually just signed one, so his is not expiring, but at the same time, it's like Kevin Love could be a nice little player to build some sort of package around, maybe to get some draft picks from a team that's looking to contend or get some young talent, because you know there's plenty of teams out there that would love Kevin Love, no pun intended right there. Like I guess a good example would be like the Charlotte Hornets. Like the Charlotte Hornets have some nice young players out there that they could definitely deal for Kevin Love and, you know, get that duo going with him and also Kemba Walker, assuming he signs back. But yeah, man, so overall I would say the Cleveland Cavaliers, you know, it depends who they get in this draft, because I still am kind of a believer that the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm not trying to hate on them or anything like that, but I guess I am in a way. They're not going to sign any like big name free agents. I mean, they had a tough time getting big names to sign over there with LeBron James. So it's just not really one of those set out destinations that free agents want to play for. So they are going to have to build this team via the draft or via trades, like force players to play there that are locked up for 3 to 4 seasons. So yeah, man, a lot of good expiring deals. Teams love those. Good for the cap space, good for teams that are looking to get, players that can help now in Tristan Thompson, but also if he doesn't work out, then it's fine, man, because then you can either sign him for a cheaper price or you have money freed up. So a lot good going on with that. Next up, we have the Chicago Bulls finding a starting point guard. So this one I actually kind of disagree with, man. I'm actually a big fan of Kris Dunn. I feel like he's a nice little consistent player. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that he can come off the bench and be like a really good six-man for a team, which in some cases that is kind of like the case where, Kris Dunn, do I see him leading a team to the finals? No. Do I see him being a really solid six-man on a winning team? Yes. But I'm a big fan of his. I feel like defensively he's nice. He can get to the basket. Yes, his shooting's not always the greatest, but I don't know, man. I guess if you're a Chicago Bulls fan or you watch a lot of Chicago games, let me know in the comment section below. Do you feel like Kris Dunn is simply not that guy? Do you feel like he's a bust? Do you feel like he should just be a six-man? Let me know in the comment section below, because, he's not like older or anything like that. It's what, his second or third NBA season? And it's just, the team's extremely young, so it's not like they're really in win now mode anyway. So I think they're better off just kind of, rolling the dice with Kris Dunn and seeing if he's the guy of the future. And if not, in a few seasons from now, when the team builds up some more lottery picks and the younger guys are more like in win now mode and in their prime and stuff, then I guess you look to get a different guard. But I feel like Kris Dunn is okay for them for right now. Next up, we have Atlanta Hawks. Get a Draymond Green light. I don't really know what they mean by this one. So let me read through this one real quick here, guys. The Hawks need their version of Draymond Green, if only to show the kids what it takes to win consistently when shots aren't falling. You know what, man? You have somebody like that on your team. I just dropped a freaking pop over my computer. It's all good. We're going to keep on rolling, guys, because that's how we do it on here. But no, man, I feel like Taurean Prince can be that guy. Like, Taurean Prince, for one, is a better offensive player than Draymond Green, but I feel like he has all the tools to be amazing defensively. I feel like he could be a decent playmaker out there. I feel like he has the skill set to do that. So I feel like Taurean Prince can be that guy for the team. I mean, John Collins, you're already running at the 4 spot, so if you're really trying to make that comparison of Draymond Green to the Atlanta Hawks, then you're going to have to decide to move John Collins to the center position, which I personally like anyway. I feel like John Collins, his future is definitely a center in this current era of basketball. But yeah, man, like Draymond Green, maybe they even try to sign Draymond or trade it for somebody like that, I guess. I don't really know, man, but yeah, I feel like Taurean Prince can definitely still be that type of guy. That's just my thoughts. Next up, we have Dallas Mavericks. Tread carefully with Kristaps Porzingis. Yeah, I mean, I know the Dallas Mavericks fan base is really excited to see Kristaps get back from injury and see what him and Luka Doncic can do together. I mean, NBA fans in general are excited to see this too. I feel like, though, because I believe he has a qualifying offer that can be extended to him, and assuming he would sign that, you would hope he would, man, just because it would really, really suck if the Dallas Mavericks and Mark Cuban and all of them got really hyped about Kristaps Porzingis before even seeing him play and signed him to some ridiculous like super max or max contract, and then he just is not the same player. Because let's be quite honest here, man, when you're above 7 foot and you have lower body injuries, those things are tough to bounce back from. I mean, ask guys like Yao Ming or Greg Oden, like those lower body injuries, those can linger on for your entire NBA career. So I'm not saying that's going to happen to Kristaps Porzingis, but I think the title of this says it perfectly, man. Just tread carefully, don't go all in on a player that you don't know too much about yet as far as returning. Because yes, a really, like, I don't want to say a prime Kristaps, he's not really in his prime yet, but a 100% healthy Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic, that's going to be doing some damn damage out there in the NBA playoffs, guys. Like, that's a team you can really just start building around, and like, you're good to go for the next 10 seasons, 10, 15 years of that squad, essentially, right there, man. So, yeah, just don't throw them all the money right away, because Chandler Parsons, another prime example of a guy that, was really solid. I believe it was for the Houston Rockets, ended up getting a large contract. Was it with the Dallas Mavericks, actually? It was either the Mavericks or the Memphis Grizzlies, but regardless, just turned out, the injury never bounced back from injuries, had all this money, set the team his back. So, yeah. Same mindset with Kristaps Porzingis, although I do think he will be fine. But yeah, torn ACL, definitely not a joke. Memphis Grizzlies, we have do whatever Mike Conley wants. So it says right here, if Mike Conley wants to hang around and mentor the Memphis Grizzlies, young players of another season, he's earned the right. And it'd be hard for Memphis to find a veteran better suited for the task. Yeah, I guess do whatever he wants, but at the same time, man, like, have a serious talk with Mike Conley. Because, yes, you're not going to find a better guy out there that's going to just be a beacon of consistency for your franchise than Mike Conley. But at the same time, it's not really fair to him. I mean, I guess he's getting paid a ton of money, so probably a lot larger of a contract than he actually really truly deserves. But I know, me personally speaking, like, Mike Conley was having one of his better NBA seasons. I don't know what his stats are looking like exactly right now, because I assume they probably have gone down since the team's not really winning a lot. But for one, I would have loved to see him on the Utah Jazz. I just feel like him and Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, you know, with Rudy Gobert and all them, was a perfect fit. But at the same time, man, it's like, if he wants to stick around and do that, that's also fine for him. I just really hope he gets a chance, though, because he's definitely on the tail end of his prime. Like, he's definitely going to be starting to decline pretty soon here, because he's like, what, 32 years of age? And that's usually when you start going down a little bit, at least. So I would just hate to see him waste some of his best years, you know, playing for a team that just knows they're not going to make it to the playoffs or anything like that. So who knows, man? Or maybe you come to the Detroit Pistons. We'll love you here too, man. Why don't you come to the Detroit Pistons? Next up, we have the Washington Wizards. Be smart with restricted free agency. So I guess this is in regards to, you know, obviously some of the players they have right here with Tomas Satoransky and Thomas Bryant. Just know that, you know, those guys are on your team right now, and it's not leading to victories, obviously, right? It's not leading to victories. So to throw a ton of money at these guys, you know, because in case of like Thomas Bryant, he's probably going to get a decent sized contract offered from somebody out there. But you just got rid of Otto Porter's contract. John Wall is due like $40 million a season for like the next 3 years. Of course, Bradley Beal's on a large contract too. Mahimi's contract, I believe, is just coming off the books pretty damn soon here. So it's like, you would hate to throw a bitch-ass contract to a player after losing some of the players out there anyway who had bad contracts. So, you know, just be smart about it. I think that's definitely a good way to put it, because John Wall's contract is probably not going anywhere anytime soon. It seems like Bradley Beal wants to stick it out on the team. So just make sure you have money available to somehow build around Bradley Beal. I mean, you know, not having $40 million right off the bat is already going to hurt you a ton. So you just got to be smart about it. Don't let Bradley Beal regret his decision of staying with the team. Next up, we have New Orleans Pelicans. Squeeze every last drop out of Anthony Davis's trade value. I hate to say it, man, but his trade value after this, you know, going into this offseason, like, yes, it's still gonna, like, you're still gonna be able to land a pretty damn good player out of it. But for one, they are not going to get a better offer than that Lakers offer. Like, the Lakers are probably not even going to offer that up again. Like, if they still negotiate, like, that offer is just off the books, man. So that's why I think the Pelicans were stupid for not accepting that. But I mean, like, why would a team like the Celtics, for example? I don't see the Celtics giving up like a Jaylen Brown or a Jason Tatum or a combination of both to get Anthony Davis 1 year early. Like, if Anthony Davis truly wants to be on this team, which I'm not saying he does, because that's another thing, man. It's like, it's a gamble that you traded those young talent for a guy that you're not quite sure wants to be there. But it's not like Anthony Davis is like 32 going on 33 and he's like in his the peak of his NBA career. Like, no, by the time he's a free agent, he's gonna be like 25 or 26, which by NBA standards, the peak of your career is 27. So he's not even like at like the top of his play yet. I just don't really see them getting great value out of Anthony Davis. Like, definitely not equal value, which they were never gonna do that anyway, man. But yeah, they should have traded him during the NBA trade deadline. They should have fielded more offers and should have just been done with it. They didn't do that, and I think they're gonna lose out because of it. And then finally, we have the Los Angeles Lakers. Get Anthony Davis and don't stop there. Guys, I just posted a video titled "Everything Wrong with the Los Angeles Lakers and How to Fix Them." And my mindset was like, you know, if you can get Anthony Davis, it's the same case where maybe you just wait one more season. Yes, LeBron James will be older at that point, and you might argue saying that, you know, that they don't really have time to wait for that. But really you do, man, because LeBron's still going to be good. And if Anthony Davis comes to this team a year from now, LeBron James is a bit older, then yes, Anthony Davis becomes the first option, LeBron becomes the second. But guess what? 2, 3, 4 seasons down the road when LeBron does retire, you still have an Anthony Davis in his prime, and you still have Lonzo Ball, you still have Brandon Ingram, you still have Kyle Kuzma, and that is your new window. So I guess I don't know why you would trade away a, you know, this this long, huge window that this team does potentially have for like a 2 to 3 year window, and to try to get Anthony Davis 1 season earlier, it just does not make much sense to me. I say you hold off on Anthony Davis. You go into the free agency with, I believe, 1 or 2 max contract slots. You try to get your Kemba Walker and your Klay Thompson, your Kevin Durant, somebody like that, and you worry about Anthony Davis down the road, and you keep your young players, and you still focus on winning now, but also building for that period where LeBron James does leave. That's just my thoughts there, guys. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this. That's all 10 of them right there. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.